Hi, it's Linda with iCrafter, and I'm here to share a faux stained glass technique using my Rose Heart die. Let's check it out. To make this faux stained glass Rose Heart project, we're going to need the Rose Heart die, clear sheet of, it's a thicker acetate, it's the kind used for packaging. I'm recycling it off a piece of packaging. It's thicker. I'm using black cardstock, iStick double-sided iCrafter adhesive sheets, some cotton swabs, and the Tim Holtz alcohol inks in pitch black, cranberry, sunshine yellow, and pesto. Let's get started. I started peeling off the backing on the adhesive sheet, and I'm just going to apply it down and keeping the carrier sheet on. Turned over, now we're ready to die cut it. I'm going to take it over to my die cutting machine. I'm going to, I know because this is a very detailed die that I'm going to have to run it through several times and maybe even add a shim, so I'll be right back. I carefully separated the adhesive backed cardstock from the die, and you can see some of the pieces stayed in here and some of the pieces are still holding onto the backing paper, the carrier sheet. So I'm going to go in with my iClick pick and remove these interior pieces. So I just want the black outline shape. I die cut 3 leaves and clean them up as well. So next what I'm going to do is cut a piece of the clear acetate, and I'm going to move this aside and just want to explain something about cutting the clear acetate that you're going to use. Is that I highly recommend cutting it with a craft knife rather than using a paper cutter, because it tends to dull the blade very quickly, and it's much less expensive to change out a craft knife blade than it is on your paper cutter. So it takes several rounds of carefully cutting it out using a straight edge and a craft knife, and just score it and just keep doing it lightly a whole bunch of times until it actually cuts apart. So what I did, and I'll pull back a little bit, this piece is a 5 by 5 inch square. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the flower adhesive side down and decide how I want to put it, because I want to just have the leaves on there as well. So I think what I'll do is have the leaves down here, and since they are sticky backed already, I think I'll just kind of play with it and see what I get. I think I'm going to do something like that. Then I'm going to take the backing off the rose, the carrier sheet off the rose, and place that down. I put down my craft sheet because I'm now going to start working with the alcohol inks, and they get a little messy. So, and I have my die cut cardstock attached to my clear acetate sheet. And you can see how that kind of turned out. Kind of cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work on the back side of this. We're going to add the color on the back side, and you can kind of see where the adhesive is still on there. Tried to clean that up as much as possible. But we're going to use these swabs, and we're going to add color. I'm going to start with, in art terms, you usually start with the lightest color. So I'm going to start with yellow. It's a, what's it called? Sunshine yellow. So I'm going to put a nice dab on the end of it. And the yellow, I found out, doesn't look like much when you start putting it down. So now I'm going to use the cranberry, yes. Cranberry is one of my favorite colors. So I'm going to start on the inside. And what I'm trying to do is add the color, and I'm going to blend it in later. So I'm just kind of taking it up to where the yellow, where we added the yellow, and then stopping. go in with my pesto, right? And it's kind of coming in the green. Okay, so there's the green. Let's turn it over and see how it's looking. Okay, can you see that? So we're going to even out the color some more, but you can see where we're headed. So I've gone back in and cleaned up a little bit. I've also used the alcohol blending solution and went around the edges and cleaned up little bits and pieces that I want to do. I'm going to try now to add a little bit of black to give it a little more punch. Here goes. So as I've been working this piece, a little splotchier than I wanted it to look. But I liked how it looked in the center. Can you see that right in here? I liked how that looked. So I'm going to try something different. And again, like I've been saying, alcohol ink is such a forgiving medium. I'm going to try just putting a lot of color, solid color down and see what happens. Let's see what happens here. I'm just going to, let's go. Area at a time. And like I kept saying, it's very forgiving. Let's see how forgiving it is. And I'm just flooding color in everywhere. So it may take longer to dry. And it may not get that exact look I'm looking for, but you kind of, when you're making art, just kind of go with the flow. And interestingly enough, it's creating these dark areas on the edges where the color is pooling, which kind of has that tattoo look. Oh, interesting. I don't know what I'm going to get. This will be just interesting. And like over here, can you see? Over in this area, I'm going to have to clean that up. But again, I discovered it's very easy to clean. And I'm liking how the solid color, flat color is looking. Oh, I like how it's dark over there. So I'm going to let this dry a little bit and then clean up the edges. Oh, I know what I'm going to do too. I'm going to try doing the same thing with the green and hope for the best. And do that. I've let it dry now for a couple minutes, and I'm going to go in with the blending solution. And I just want to clean up these sides a little bit. So, and you're going to need a lot of cotton swabs to do this. But so far I'm liking the way this thing is looking. I like it better than the original first round. And it just kind of shows that sometimes you just got to experiment and try things out. So let's see what we have. Oh, I like that a lot better. That looks like stained glass. Oh. So I have a little more cleanup to do around the edges, but I'm really happy with the way this turned out. Hope you enjoyed that. That's my faux stained glass rose heart die project. I like how it turned out. Thanks for watching. Be sure and subscribe. Happy crafting!